Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari, and I'm here with Asukwa James.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning,
How
Nigerians.
are you today, Asukwa?
I'm fine.
Okay, there's a lot going on the political scene. Today, APC Edo primaries, right? That we were hearing yesterday was all cut and dried, and they're probably in the middle of it now if they go anywhere, like APC went, where they started very early. So that's on one side. But then there's a sort of political firestorm that has erupted. All the papers this morning, testimony to it. You look at the Nation. Sage says to Buhari, don't attend the Giadom-led NEC meeting. That's one. And by now, most people have seen all the papers. NWC threatens to boycott NEC as Buhari backs sacked Giadom. What? Punch says shock hits APC power blocks as Buhari backs Giadom. And, one more. I just throw in one more. Okay, here's the Tribune. Buhari backs Giadom. Now, what's going on? And one saw a release from APC itself. And how was that one putting it? Commenting on all of this.
No, I think the press release is from the National Working Committee. They've said it in clear terms that the president might have been misadvised, for him to take that decision to attend the virtual meeting called by the so-called acting chairman. I'm using that word so-called because there was already a court injunction stopping him from parading himself as the national chairman. And he is also claiming that he had a court summon, an expert motion for him to extend himself to be the acting national chairman.
There you go.
But even the person that even took the case in March said he didn't even go to court. He didn't appear before the court. He didn't send any application to the court for there to be an extension for him to do that. Everything that concerned that first court that case in March has been dealt with at the caucus level in the Northeast. So, was the president ill-advised? I don't know.
Okay, and then on top of all of that, we're hearing that the police, have been invited this morning to seal off the APC headquarters or secretariat in Edo State.
In Abuja.
In Abuja?
Yes.
Yeah. Because that is where the president would have attended. Sorry, I got Edo State on the brain.
The NEC meeting is at the villa, the State House at the villa, but it's going to be virtual. So Giadom has already sent out links that you can join if you are a member of the National Executive Committee.
Yeah.
So you can join maybe in your house, the comfort of your house, in your office.
But we've seen some communication from APC that they are not involved and they regret not being able to attend. You probably saw that thing as well.
Yes.
That is, from the other side. And meanwhile, as you were saying, people are sort of gobsmacked, as to...
So many people.
What's Mr. President doing? Mr. President is the leader of the party. He understands all the issues, or he should understand all the issues. Why is this happening? Because you just sort of itemized it. Going by the law and the courts, and, this is very surprising. So now when a legal luminary like Professor Issei wades in and says to the president, you don't need to attend the Giadom-led NEC meeting. I mean, I just don't... Is this a tumult? Is it a tsunami? Okay, is there something they want us to see there? What?
Okay, that is the statement by the senior special assistant to the president of media.
That's Garba Shehu,
who actually released that. That is a tweet.
Yes. Yes.
Telling us that the president will attend because it is in accordance with the law.
Yeah. So the president wants to do what is in accordance with the law, is what I would imagine. And so it's clear to me, therefore, that the president sees his intention as being in accordance with the spirit of the law and the spirit of the law. And so you now begin to look at the other statement that's also coming from APC, the Secretariat, I believe, saying that perhaps Mr. President has been misadvised, you know. But that's going to be a bit hard in the sense that Mr. President is surrounded by all sorts of legal luminaries, all sorts of political, experienced political
It depends
people.
on...
So what exactly is going on? Why is Giadom able to cut through all of this and apparently be headed to having his way? But you know, there's a sense in which you never can say it's over till it's over. I don't know.
Politics.
Has the meeting started?
No. I think it's going to be around 12.
Well, 12 is a heck of a long time between now and 12.
It depends. So if the president can decide to say, okay, fine, I'm not going again, you know, and let's call off the meeting. Because if you look at, even with the letters, if the president is also looking at, in accordance with the law, even the APC constitution in Article 25B, I want to read it. It says that the NEC, that is the National Executive Council, shall meet every quarter or at any time decided by the national chairman or at the request made in writing by at least 2/3 of members of the NEC, provided that at least that not less than 14 days notice is given for the meeting to be summoned. Now, if this is the party's constitution, it is law for APC. So if assuming Giadom is the chairman, I want to use that word.
Chairman.
Acting chairman, is in acting national chairman. If the president is saying according to law, shouldn't the president also look at that proviso that says provided they are given, all members are given 14 days? Did he actually send out those invitations and say, oh, in 14 days time you are going to meet? You know, and this meeting is just less than 3 days. So the president will need to sit down so that it doesn't create more enemies for himself, even within the party.
That's the APC statement.
Yes, so many people are already saying the country is already overstretched by so many crises and problems. We shouldn't now bring the APC into it. The president should see everybody as his child and see how we can resolve it. It shouldn't even be a national NEC. It can call all the parties that are involved in one crisis or the other to the villa and talk to them. And at the end of the day, it can now decide as the father of the party, as the father of the nation, or the head or the leader of the party, to decide how this matter can be resolved. It doesn't even need to call or to go to any virtual meeting.
So why do you think police have been asked to secure
you remember some days back the police actually went there. They sealed off the place, but they said no, that it was actually the NWC that actually called for police protection. So I want to see what other release will come out concerning what happened today. Whether it is the NWC members that actually called for police protection, or there's another political undertone around it.
Okay, so we'll be juggling these political balls in the air. I think the juggling is also, it's really on the side of the ruling party. There's not too much juggling going on. Well, maybe I misspeak. I was going to say there's not too much juggling going on in the PDP, but they're doing their own juggling.
No, those ones are doing sit-down look. They have their own problems.
Exactly.
But, you know, they have their own problems, and they know how to sort their problems.
They do.
That's why you see every problem that PDP will have, they will call it a family affair.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, we've been joined by Libros Oshiomhole, who keeps a keen eye on the polity. Libros is a legal practitioner and, as I just said, a keen observer of the polity. Good morning, Libros. Thank you very much for making time to join us.
Yeah, good morning, Okuyori, and good morning, Asuko.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. So, what do you make of the? Give me your perspective on the situation in the ruling party.
I think the president was not properly advised because there are conflicting court orders. For you to recognize one against the other shows clearly that you are not properly advised. There is a court order obtained by Giadom expending his ex parte order. There is another court order for Sakos suspending Giadon from APC. And so when the president now decides to choose one and then disobey the other one, it means that the president is not properly advised. I will not say he's taking side, I will say he's not properly advised. Because even the order the president has chosen to obey, that order, if you look at the order, there is a lot of issues wrong with the order. You don't give an ex parte order to protect an interest that does not exist. You give an ex parte order to protect a right is likely to be destroyed if pending the determination of the matter before you. But for you to use an ex parte order to create an interest and then purportedly protect that interest, that means the court has moved into the arena. Let me explain for the benefit of people who are not lawyers. When you apply for an ex parte order, you say, please grant me an order because so that this interest, this property will not be destroyed. You ask the other parties to come to court. It is a vested interest. It is to protect a vested interest pending the determination of the matter. So please,
Thank you for that quick legal thing there. So you just explained the res, R-E-S, the res, as you lawyers put it. You just explained that.
Sorry, quickly. The question now is, does Giadon have a right? Is there an office created by the constitution of the APC called the acting chairman's office that Giadon ordinarily is occupying that the court is protecting him?
Okay.
On? There is none.
All right, then. So, wait a minute. Let me take Majid Jamil's perspective on this. He's another keen observer of political goings on. Good morning, Majid. How do you see the whole APC affair and the tussle for power, apparently?
Well, it's a battle for the soul of APC, and the various gladiators are coming up with all sorts of machineries. But one thing I would say is that I would advise the NWC members that boycott won't be a solution. We have seen it happen in the past because when you say the NEC, the composition, if you look at the composition of the NEC, we have all the governors who are members. That's about 20-something governors of the APC. We have all the chairmen of the party at the state level and their deputies, the vice chairman, all the secretaries at the state level, they are all members. So the NWC members are just, I think about 17 or thereabouts. When you take out the suspended chairman, and which Oshiomhole and Aileen Abiola Jimobi, I think we are left to just about 18. So while Giadon might not be the solution to this problem, but according to the statement released by Garba Shehu yesterday, the president said he has taken legal advice. I learned that the Attorney General of the Federation was at that meeting with the president where they took that decision that the NEC should hold and the Giadon should convene that NEC meeting. Be that as it may, it might not be a right decision to take, but then if you are looking at the body language of the president, it means the president has already taken sides with the Giadon fashion in this whole imbroglio. And NWC is just a part of the whole is a part of NEC. And like I said, you are talking about maybe 16 or 17 members compared to about 100 plus.
Majid, let me stay with you, please. Again, looking at the situation that we have, and if the president, as he already has indicated, that he's been advised, and from that advice, he is minded to actually attending. So everybody is saying that, well, maybe you were misadvised, sir. Forget that for the moment. Let's stay with the way the president sees it. What would be the consequence, in your view, of this going ahead for the party?
Like I said, there are tough, very tough days ahead for APC, and unfortunately, it's the ruling party where they have the bigger cake. Like I've always said, they won elections back to back, 2015 and 2019, but it's unfortunate they've been unable to manage the success resulting from those victories at the polls.
Okay,
that's what
thank you very much. One moment, let me switch back to Libros, who is still on. Again, what's your perspective? Because you're taking things from a purely legal, perspective. So, what would be the possible effects now? Just taking one person, for example, Professor Sagi, to represent everybody who is legally minded and who understands the constitution of the ruling party. So, if the president were to continue, and people are saying he's ill-advised, meaning that it's hardly the right thing to do. So, what would be the consequence? Of
what I'm saying, so if the president takes an advice that is not legal, every other decision taken becomes a nullity. And so that is why I had expected the president to call all parties, instead of taking sides that, oh, there is one order, I have been advised properly. There's another order that you were probably not advised on. And so the president ought to have called all parties.
How healthy, one moment, Liberals, let me stay with you. How healthy is it to our whole political development and processes, the role that the courts are playing?
Very bad. Very bad.
Because, you can see that all of this is being based on, oh, no, this court said that, and this court said that, and people are now torn. They say, well, we can't throw what the court said away. So are the courts coming in too close?
Yes, they are. The courts are coming in too close. Ordinarily, let me give you an explanation. Ordinarily, one would have expected that for Victor Giadon, as an acting national secretary, if you go to court and say, declare me acting chairman, the court ought to have asked, are you the acting chairman? Is there a position for you to occupy that I can now declare you in the interim as acting chairman? Since that position is vacant, it's not clearly fine for you having other deputy national chairman. Let the party go back and resolve this issue. But if you're asking me, a member of NWC or as
Okay. Well, sorry, Liberals, but you've been so valuable to us, being our sort of the legal voice on the program. But thank you very much. We're going to have to let go of you now. But we want to thank you very, sincerely for coming on and being of assistance. We still have Majid Jamil with us, and we still have Abuja to get to. We still, if we can in the program, we'll be getting to Edo as well for a different matter. And indeed, I think we're going to be opening the lines as well, because I think a lot of people are going to want to get in on this. So, Majid, here we are. Taking it from where Libros put it, he from his own legal perspective, if this quote-unquote illegal action, or I don't know, how does one say illegal action with the president involved? No, if this action that some legal experts are saying are advising the president against,
yes.
So
that we don't.
I think I got it there.
Yes.
If this action, which some experts are advising the president against, and are sort of what is it now? A bit frustrated and upset that the president has taken advice to do as he has indicated through Garba Shehu that he will be doing. There's a problem. We have a problem here, and Libros had said that the implication could be, when the legal minds get themselves in on the act, that everything that is done subsequently, if indeed it is proved that it was, an improper move, is null and void.
The immediate result of this decision, the advice given to the president by the legal experts. I mean, the Attorney General of the Federation is a legal expert. Professor Sage. Professor Sage is also a legal expert. I mean, he's saying the president has been ill-advised, but as we speak now, the president has taken the advice of those who gave him an advice yesterday, as announced by Malam Garba Shehu, the SSA, to the president. That is where we are now.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Sorry, Majid. That exactly is where we are now. And I like the way you put it. There's no how the Attorney General of the Federation is not a legal expert. There's no how Professor Sage is not a legal expert. So this is very common in the legal community. But in the meantime, what I mean is very common is that having experts on opposing sides of a given view. Not Majid.
Liberals.
No.
Yakubu from Dokwemu.
Yakubu, thank you very much. Good morning, Yakubu.
Good morning once again, and then good morning, Asuku, and then the liberals, and then...
very briefly, please. Very briefly, Yakubu. You understand?
The time is so short, but let me be brief, because I have a lot of things to say, but let me just make a point. Chief Yori, it is unfortunately that some of us that supported this party, we are die fans of Mr. President, and then this kind of a thing is going on. I would like liberals to attend to this question I'm about to say.
Liberals has left us, I'm sorry.
Okay, Majid, you can also attend to it as well, because I know he is a conversant with political...
That's right, that's right.
You see, what gives Gadjon the opportunity to cut himself as acting chairman when the political party, the constitution of APC, does not even give him that authority?
Thank you very much. Look, I'm going to have to let go of you, and I want to thank you very, very much, because that very point you made has already been made. But people are befuddled, are in wonderment for the very point you make. On what premise did Chief Giadom ask the courts to make him or pronounce that he was the proper person to be acting chairman? On what premise? I think both Majid and liberals have made that point. And now our viewers are also making the point that that whole area. But you see how I wish that the president would get on air or get on Twitter and explain it. Because oftentimes when you just get a short communication, it sort of opens up the whole place. But for now, maybe we'll have to wait on Femi Adesina or Garba Shehu. But there are times, there are people who say that President Trump talks too much, he tweets too much. This is one time when I'd have wanted the president to tweet as well and say, you guys don't understand.
No, I think his handlers should also go on Twitter to see how people are making a jest of his own party. Because you look at that tweet again, that's on behalf of the president. That because the presidents will always behave or will always act in accordance with the law, the president will be attending. That tweet hasn't been taken down. And they are aware of this sort of consternation that's swirling all over the place. It hasn't been taken down yet, so it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. Seems to be the fact that it hasn't been taken down means that it's not a mistake, and the president is. I've said what it is. We got this call coming in from Ibadan. Good morning. Good morning, Ibadan.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much for calling. Go ahead, please.
What I'm saying is that the political lacuna among the APC is giving a lot of problems. Why? Because the APC should be a very good house to build people's opinions, and now the house is being spoiled. It's being spoiled because there's a legal lacuna there. The legal lacuna there is that Professor Sage has pronounced the legal implications that the president is not going the right way. But the whole thing going around is that the president was ill-advised. So where is he going to come from? It's going to be a problem. So I think the thing I have to advise APC now to do now to maintain their house is for them to make sure that their house is being organized in a way so that the elections will be favorable to them.
Indeed.
That is very uncommon or very suitable for a party like APC. They want to maintain their house. So I think the president should know the right thing to do.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling in. We're saying the president might have been ill-advised because we're paraphrasing or quoting other people who have said so. There's another interesting one, and on the front page of the Nation this morning, one of the sub-headlines is that the legal advice the president got is mischievous. Aha, that's a new one, mischievous. So who could be playing mischief with advice that is going to be offered to the president? Well, I mean, within the same party. Where's mischief coming from?
Uncle Yori, the thing is, APC is working on landmines, and they need to be very, very careful.
Okay, Majid, I got to, as we move towards a break, I want to thank you for coming on as well. That last sentiment about some people saying that the advice is even mischievous, and it's coming from within the party. What's going on? Very, very, very briefly, like in 15 seconds, please.
Yeah, the judiciary is not helping our evolving democracy. We had this court order that made the ex parte motion, which was renewed. Ex parte motion lasts 14 days. The first one was given in March, and this second one was given about 4 or 5 days
so
ago.
we're going to have to leave it there, Majid. So sorry, but thank you very much. You safely, say that, well, unfortunately, it's the courts and they are not helping matters. Stay with us, please. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, please. Okay, welcome back, and we're moving over to Kogi in a sense, because we're going to be speaking with Dr. Joshua Alobo. Dr. Joshua Alobo, he's a constitutional and electoral expert. Good morning, Dr. Alobo, for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
Great to have you.
It's a pleasure having you.
Yeah, let's get your perspective on the current goings-on at the very top, the power hierarchy of the ruling APC.
First and foremost, it's quite unfortunate that the leadership of APC has not been able to gather their house in order, and a lot of crises have snowballed and rocking the foundation of the political party, a party in power now acting like opposition. But to me, it's not a good sign for our democratic ethos. But notwithstanding what has happened, I think it's a learning call for us to know, because the president has acted not to interfere with the party structure, believing in the party supremacy, but allowing it unchecked has resulted into the current crisis that we have, that a sitting governor of our Edo State was disqualified at the screening. To me, it's quite embarrassing, because he made mockery of our democratic ethos, even though the president will have intervened to settle the various factions. But now that he has made a release that he's going to attend the National Working Committee meeting next that will be called, it's also a commendable idea, but to some person they feel that the father has taken side. But no matter the divide, there must be, without him participating in the National Working Committee, the party will not be able to take a formidable decision.
Okay, well, we were talking about this whole matter about the involvement of the courts, the judiciary in matters, and so, how they actually...
So Nigeria must learn from what is going on.
Yeah. We were speaking about how the judiciary actually, and that was never in the intention, I don't imagine, is actually beginning to, the judiciary, whether inadvertently or but because of what is brought before it and its pronouncements, now there are political processes are being kicked like a ball all around the place. But that probably isn't the case in the Kogi gubernatorial issue. Because you probably expect the courts to come in there. There's, of course, as you know, there's a case going on. The governor, has been declared the rightfully elected person in Kogi.
By the tribunal.
By the tribunal. And it was...
by the tribunal.
It was a split decision there. 3 justices, so it was a 2-1 in favor of the governor. Of course, the other party is not happy. They are dissatisfied, so they can take it to the next step and indeed have indicated that they will be doing so. What do you think, what's the content of the summations so that there was a dissenting judge? You can't have 1.5. It has to be 2-1. So it must be a substantial opinion of even the dissenting judge. So what was it that the dissenting judge based, their summation on?
First and foremost, we should appreciate our electoral jurisprudence. When there's an election, no matter the configuration for the 4 decades that we have, Nigeria have a rich electoral jurisprudence. There must be an agreed party, right from Awolowo vs. Shagari, and right from Awolowo vs. Shagari, there'll be a dissenting judgment.
Yes. So I'm now looking for people who are not as close to Kogi legalisms and politics as you might be. What was the content of if it had been a unanimous decision, we probably wouldn't be asking this question. Is it possible for you to summarize briefly for us how the dissenting judge saw it that has now led to, the other party saying that we're appealing this further?
As far back as 1971, there was a dissenting judgment of 2/3 of 19 states. No, sir. So dissenting judgment is part of our electoral jurisprudence. And dissenting judgment does not constitute the judgment of the court. The judgment of the court is the majority judgment. Before I go into dissenting judgment, in as much as there's a majority and dissenting judgment, the Kogi election petition was quite unique. Unique in the sense that the petition was quite nebulous, without even a concrete relief or grants. They were just like a journeyman trying to pull every string that they can attach to.
I get you.
At the end of the day, out of the 729 polling unit that was in contention in the 7 local government, the PDP that was a petitioner and WADA only called 24 witnesses. And out of those 24 witnesses, the aspect of the dissenting judgment is on one of the witnesses, that is the 2 witnesses, P19.
Yeah.
But before going to the P19, when you allege that there's an electoral fraud or no compliance, you must be able to state the vote that is affected, not for you to say that there's a violence or that you brought an expert opinion to recount the ballot paper. Without looking at the foundation is the voter register, which the majority judgment capture.
Yeah.
And out of all the 20.
Okay, it froze a bit, and thank you very much, Dr. Lobo, because you're going to continue as soon as it unfreezes, because I see that what the position you have adopted is that, look, wait a minute, it was a dissenting judgment, and I know that you're back now.
It's own opinion, a violation of valid ballot paper. So the issue was on as the status of the expert evidence, whether that evidence of one single witness is sufficient to alter the electoral victory with a margin of 285,000. And the majority said no. But that was the fulcrum or the basis of the minority judgment. And that minority judgment is just about 17 pages, which cannot stand even up to Supreme Court. Indeed. Based on the decided cases in our electoral jurisprudence, because election is not a game of chess that you can just say, oh, because I have the queen or I have the master, that will kill all deficiency. Expert opinion is not an all multipurpose drug that cure electoral fraud. Mm-hmm. You must be able to prove your allegation based on the polling unit and polling unit. If all your witnesses are unreliable,
and this, Dr. Alobo, is what. Sorry, Dr. Alobo, and this, Dr. Joshua Alobo, is what you feel that they did not succeed in doing. Hence, they won the case, because I think that's what you really are minded to concentrating on. That, look, even though I started from the other side, it's like, look, this victory at the tribunal was well deserved, seems to be your perspective, and the processes are the processes. We'll go through them as long as they take. But you believe that the tribunal made the right call. That seems to be your position. Did I get that right?
Yes, the judgment will stand even up to Supreme Court.
Yeah, yeah. And so, as well,
I think it's frozen.
it's frozen again. So that's the point there. Of course, the PDP will be they want to take it further.
So we should be able to manage our expectation. In as much as the petition was dead on arrival, they struck out almost all the grants and relief because they offend the fundamental requirement of the first schedule to the Electoral Act. At the end of the day, there's nothing that the Court of Appeal or Supreme Court will do as far as Kogi gubernatorial election is decided. And court does not act on public settlement. Is the evidence before the court that the court will base its decision, and the 24 witnesses, 11 was from Lokoja, 1 from Ajekuta. All of them gave contradictory judgment. It's only the forensic, the professor, the P19 and statistician, and then the collecting officer that gave over 500 paragraph evidence or statement or oath. At the end of the day, they could not prove their case. And the Supreme Court have decided in a long chain of case, even in Yaradua, versus Buhari, where there was a dissenting judgment of 4-3. That is why I say dissenting judgment is not novel in our electoral jurisprudence, but you have to take the lead judgment. Like in Buhari versus Yaradua, the court said that you cannot go to Dupe Market or Wuse Market or Lokoja Market to fit for evidence. Is the evidence presented by the petitioner that the court or the tribunal will add? And if that is the position of the Supreme Court, there's nothing that will make them to shift the position. And that is what applied in Atiku versus Buhari recently, and PDP versus Buhari. So whatever judgment that have been given at the tribunal, if it's not fall with the other judicial precedent, that judgment will stand.
But Dr. Alobo, the PDP is actually going to the Court of Appeal based on that decision by Justice Obiageli. And they actually said out of that 7 local governments, about what is it called? They had a massive fraud, and it was even based on the report from the witnesses, which you said, which is the forensic expert as well as the statistician. So, what are your chances at the Court of Appeal in all of this? Because
I speak as a person that is not on any side of the divide,
okay,
but based on the state of the law. Is the state of the law that I'm talking, and in as much as the judgment of the minority was based on a sole witness analyzing a ballot paper, and the majority judgment said that it's not a responsibility of any person, no matter the toggle of being a forensic or expert witness, to recount a ballot paper. Is exclusive jurisdiction of INEC. Secondly, we must also look at whether they were able to prove the allegation in 729 polling units of the 7 local government, which they have not denied as to the majority judgment that out of those 729 polling units, it's only 32 witnesses that were called for only 24 polling units. And on the authority of Uchavez election, there's no way you can win an election petition without proving it polling unit by polling unit, word by word, where you make allegations. Secondly, if you made allegations and you even prove, if the court find that it does not affect substantially the outcome of the election, the court will not validate the election. That is why Section 139 of the Electoral Act is quite opposite. He said that non-compliance must be substantial to validate the election. So whatever the forensic evidence has tendered, it was even outside the scope of the Supreme order.
But it was the governors that actually agreed for the forensic expert to come in.
Order.
I'm afraid, so sorry, Dr. Alobo, even though Asuko did ask that question, we've run out of time for that particular segment, but we do want to express our deep appreciation, Dr. Joshua Alobo, constitutional and electoral expert, for, as it were, for your commentary on the election tussle, legal tussle in Kogi State. And as you stated, not being on one side or the other, but just looking at it from the point of view of the facts and the law. As Okoroa for an arrow, Chuku, you just have to take one. You can't take all the subject matters. Which one are you going on?
Kogi.
Okay, let's hear it, please.
This is just like a rifle drop. Big one, cheap and big.
Go on, please.
Honestly, what you are saying today, if the Electoral Act is not signed, what we are saying, when we are talking from now to tomorrow, it will not work. That's the only solution to this issue. Because if you check around, look at Bayelsa. Look at we are now waiting for Edo and Ondo. That is why there is need for the National Assembly to help out. They can just medium, brought it up, let the president just sign that Electoral Act.
Indeed.
Mr. Yori, do you know that people have made that this issue of this court, Supreme Court, Appeal Court, makes it as if we are doing Jankare brand of court issue of commotion and confusion.
Oh dear.
Because that Electoral Act brings the whole answer to the table. Some Dick and Harry, by the time you see data, you know exactly where you go. All these progress and this will not happen.
Okay then. Mazi, I'm going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much. I'm going to have to leave it there just so we can see if we can get a few calls in. But thank you very much for first of all, picking the raffle draw, and he went for Kogi because. So anybody who calls in, please, you just don't try and speak on all of them. That will take too long. Just tell us what you want to comment on. Is it the Edo situation? Is it the PDP leadership? I don't know whether to call it a crisis.
It's not
a crisis.
They don't have a crisis.
No,
they are going straight.
Yeah, it's just a plane ride and there's turbulence. So to that extent, it's uncomfortable. Is it that one you want to talk about, or is it indeed Kogi as Mazi Okorafor chose? But we're speaking about the APC, the PDP thing in event. The PDP event. It looks very, very well organized. But one wonders why they didn't start early, because it looks like it's been set up. Where we're just waiting.
Because it's indirect primary. So the delegates will, what is it called? The aspirant will still have to speak with the delegates.
But they should get on with it.
Sometimes
I think these are pictures.
This was yesterday.
This was yesterday.
Yes, when they were inspecting the stadium, trying to make sure that everything is properly organized. But
okay, Port Harcourt on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did I hear Jojo?
Yes.
Good. Carry on, please.
I just want to contribute that the president is.
I can see what you were going to talk about. You were going to talk about the situation, the leadership situation in the ruling APC. Sorry, Jojo. Don't know the network. Don't know what the network was doing there.
So maybe they are still trying to get the delegates, talk to them, lobby them.
But everything within a time frame now. Look at the time.
You've forgotten that
they said that the
indirect primaries are always, sometimes it gets into 2 days. Because
Yusuf in Kaduna. Sorry, let's try Yusuf in Kaduna. You're our last caller as a matter of fact. Good morning, Mr. Yusuf.
Yusuf, Tajide.
Go on.
I should go on?
Yes, please.
Okay, I want to talk about the PDP.
Okay.
I want to talk about PDP.
Go on, please.
I want to talk about PDP.
Yeah, we're waiting. Go ahead.
You see, PDP are more organized than the other party.
Okay.
Because if you look at the way and manner they are doing their home, Nigeria, we have to look at we are not partisan, but Nigeria, we have to look at the way they do things.
Okay.
Organizations, compartments, and these are the only way we can get it. So I give them kudos.
I'm going to have to thank you very much, Yusuf, for the point that you've made and for calling in to make it. That's our program today. Sorry, it's a bit rushed, but it's like I always say, Asuku and I say, please be safe. Join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. Bye-bye for now.